differently. They saw them as representing or prophesying the future of the Roman Empire. The color white, to them, was symbolic of triumph, political success, and prosperity. Although the white horsemen may not have been seen as representing Christ or religion, they also saw him largely as a positive figure. The second horseman is the rider in red, the horseman of war. When he broke the second seal, I heard the second living creature saying, "Come." And another, a red horse, went out, and to him who sat on it, it was granted to take peace from the earth, and that men would slay one another, and a great sword was given to him. Everything about the second horseman is fairly straightforward. He rides on a fiery red horse, with his great sword held upwards as a declaration of war. An upward-facing sword would often signify the intention to enter battle, and the color red, we can assume, symbolizes the bloodshed that comes with war. The white and red horsemen were both connected to war, but not the same type of war. Conquest implies trying to seize control of something through military force. In the case of the horsemen of conquest, that would mean spreading the word of God to those who may be of a different faith. It was granted to take peace from the earth, and that men would slay one another. It's this passage that led scholars to interpret the horsemen of war as representing civil war. If we go back to the Roman Empire, the white horseman was symbolic of Rome's success. The red horseman, not so much. The second seal being broken meant that peace left Rome. There was bloodshed, civil war, and insurrection in the empire. This is attributed to the Roman Emperor Commodus, whose reign is considered the end of the golden era within Rome and the beginning of civil unrest. The third horseman is the Black Rider, the horseman of famine. When he broke the third seal, I heard the third living creature saying, "Come." I looked, and behold, a black horse, and he who sat on it had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard something like a voice in the center of the four living creatures saying, "A quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, but do not damage the oil and the wine." Some believe the scales the horseman holds can be interpreted as the scales of justice. Others believe these scales actually reflect how bread used to be weighed in times of famine. The mention of barley and wheat in the passage above is why the latter interpretation is used more commonly. The prices mentioned may not make much sense now, but it roughly translates to an entire day's work just to buy some of the ingredients needed to make bread, so you can see how that may have caused famine. It also mentions that the price of oil and wine remains untouched, but these were luxuries way out of the price range of a common worker. This can also be taken in a literal sense, as a plague of locusts could easily ravage crops,